Here, welcome back to my playthrough of Ace Attorney Investigations. We're continuing from where we left off, and I think this dog definitely has something to do with the murder in the prison. I remember how they said that the animals can just go freely between the doors, and I remember that dog with the bell. In the first cutscene, you saw it had a bloody mouth. So the dog definitely has something to do with the murder, but the question is exactly what. But anyways, let's continue from where we left off here. A suspect has been arrested. Huh. Wonder what that's about. Who's the suspect? March 28, 9:45 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Ugh, I still can't believe what happened yesterday. It was terrible, the way those two treated you. Now, let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clean up your mess, Edgeworth. The committee hereby declares the Prosecutor Edgeworth be relieved of his duties and replaced by Prosecutor Winter. Here ends the verdict. Judge Gavel and Mr. Winter certainly didn't mind their words. Mince their words. But that's not what concerns me right now. I'm more worried about the committee's reasons for doing what they did, and what they might do next. I suspect it won't be good. Irv to Mr. Edgeworth, are you listening to me? Yes, of course. So this is it. You're giving up on the Bronco Knight case. No, I have no intention of doing any such thing. To walk away from the case would be to tacitly accept the committee's decision. The only problem is that I don't have the authority to continue investigating. Yes, what is it, Detective?
I've got some bad news, sir. Word down at the precinct is they just arrested somebody for Knight's murder.
Why is that bad news? What? Do you know who it is?
No, but I heard they're being held in the detention center. Maybe you could go talk to whoever it is.
Good idea. Let's get down there, Mr. Edgeworth. Even without the authority to investigate, surely I can still pay a suspect an innocent visit. Alright, we're on our way.
Me too. I'll see you there, sir.
But won't you be missed, Detective?
Nah, everyone's busy in the prison going over the crime scene anyway.
Good. Then we'll see you shortly.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Kay. Let's go. You got it. Who's being accused? March 28, 10:23 a.m. Detention Center. Visitors room. Still no sign of them, huh? Indeed. Wait, this is just like last time. Please don't tempt fate like that. Oh man, like last time they were waiting and then there was a murder. No, I can't. I just can't.
Sure you can. I told you. It's just a pair of visitors.
Sounds like somebody really doesn't want to see us. No.
Just talk to them, please.
One of them's the prosecutor, right? Aren't they all super scary? All they do is stare at you. Right into your soul. Ah, you must be the suspect in the... Eek! See? I told you. Okay, why is this man so flustered? Probably because you're being you, but I guess that's just how you are. Thanks for clearing up absolutely nothing. Hey, Mr. Suspect, you doing okay in there? We just want to have a little chat with you. No biggie, right? Who are you? I'm Kay Faraday, Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick. It's just a part-time gig I'm doing while I take a break from my real job, though. Funny, I don't recall ever employing you. And that's Mr. Edgeworth. He is a prosecutor, but he's not going to stare a hole into your soul or anything. Oh, please. Really? Really? Eek! Anyway, can you first please tell us your name? It's Saint. Simeon Saint. Well, nice to meet you, Simeon. You can call me Kay, everyone else does. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, I would like to ask you a few questions, if I may. Please, Simeon, we're trying to help you, I promise. Really? Thanks to Kay, it sounds like we might finally get some answers, at least. Simeon Saint. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little about yourself. Who, me? Why would anyone want to know anything about me? I'm boring. I'm nothing. I'm a nobody. Do you have a job? Oh, well, it's not. It's hardly worth mentioning, really. Your average corporate pencil pusher, just like everybody else. Honest. This is going to take a while. Relation to Knight. About you and Mr. Knight. And just when I thought we were making progress. Okay? So, Simeon, did you know Mr. Knight? Come on, you can tell me. Bronco? Yeah, I knew him. We were friends. Interesting. I wonder if he knew that Knight had been arrested. And, did you know Mr. Knight had been arrested? Yeah, I even came to visit him. He came to see Knight. I wonder when that would have been. And when was that, Simeon? It was the day before yesterday, around lunchtime. I came as soon as I got the call from the cops. The police called him. Why? How come the police called you? They said that Bronco had asked them to, that he needed a favor. A favor? He wanted me to bring him his chess set, the pocket-sized one. So I went by his place, and then I came here. A chess set? A chess set? Is it just me, or is she getting better at stealing my thoughts? You do know everything you think is written all over your face, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Hehe. Yeah, I'm not a mind reader, just an expression reader. Amazing, right? Don't you just love having a sidekick as helpful as me? And have you read what my next move is going to be? I sure have. There's something you want to show Simeon. Indeed. Let's present it to him and see what he has to say about it. Present the chess set. Can this actually open? Come on. Hurry up and open that clasp. This is a murder investigation. You sound like a child on Christmas morning. Oh, please. Even your heart must skip a beat when you're about to open a mysterious box. Not all of us think like you, Kay, thankfully. Just chess. These are chess pieces, right? I've seen the ones you have in your office. So how come these are black and white? Most chess pieces are. The ones in my office are custom made. As in, they're unique and probably valuable. I like the sound of that. She's got that glint in her eye. She better not be planning a robbery. So this chess set. Oh, that's the one I brought for Bronco. Well, that settles that at least. A folding chessboard with the pieces stored inside. It belongs to Knight and was brought to him at his request by Saint. Why exactly? There's something suspicious about this chess set. Well, we found it next to Mr. Knight. He always had to have a chessboard somewhere nearby. I'm not surprised he had it with him when he... Simeon, you and Mr. Knight, you were very close, weren't you? Yeah, we were best friends. At least I thought we were. But I guess I was wrong about that. What do you mean? If I knew him so well, why was it just a shock for me to find out he had killed someone? It's not easy discovering that someone you're close to has committed a terrible crime. It's a very bitter pill to swallow indeed. How could it all end like this? I could never have imagined something so awful. Something not right here, Mr. Edgeworth. Something's not right here, Mr. Edgeworth. There's just no way Simeon murdered Mr. Knight. Yes, he certainly doesn't seem to have an obvious motive. Then again, he wouldn't have been arrested for no reason either. I wonder what grounds they have for doing so. Reason for the arrest. Why were you arrested, Mr. Saint? I just don't get it. Why won't he talk to me? I don't know. Honestly, I don't. Whoa, he answered you, Mr. Edgeworth. I guess he's not scared of you anymore. Thank goodness for some small miracles. The cops burst into my house this morning, out of nowhere. And before I knew it, I was here. These policemen, was there a prosecutor with them? Yes, some kid named the Winner or something. Oh, of course, Eustace. The rookie. I thought as much. So, did they interrogate you yet? What? I'm going to be interrogated? By the cops? Well, yeah, I mean, you've been arrested. You're a suspect now. No! Ooh, won't the detectives shout at me and threaten me and... Oh! There are always these hulking guys, right? Who gets in your face and forces you to...
Detective Gumshoe reporting for duty.
See? I told you. I like how he thinks that Gumshoe is scary. Please don't hurt me. Please don't crush me with those huge arms. No, please. I'm calling the cops.
Oh, man. What's up with this guy, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, nothing, Detective. You're just being you. I guess it's just how you are.
I don't get it, sir.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, Simeon is clearly innocent. So there's got to be something we can do for him, isn't there? Mr. Saint. Yes! You were Mr. Knight's friend, and 2 days ago you came to visit him. You had nothing at all to do with his murder. Is my understanding correct? Yes! I didn't kill anybody. Very well. Then I will choose to believe you. And I will do all that I can to assist you. Huh? Why would you help a nobody like me? Let's just say that I may not be doing it solely for your sake. I have something of a personal interest in this case. That's right. It's payback time. We'll show these two whose investigation reigns supreme.
Oh yeah, now we're cooking.
Unfortunately, I still lack the authority to conduct said investigation. As such, my resources are rather limited, and I'll need to lean heavily on the ones I do have at hand. Which means you, Mr. Saint, your information will be invaluable going forward. In other words, let's see if we can help one another out, shall we?
Oh, I just thought of something. Why don't you borrow an attorney's badge? Then you could represent our pal here.
Now's not the time for jokes, Gummy. I mean, Mr. Edgeworth is a prosecutor. He couldn't defend anyone if his life depended on it.
But I wasn't kidding. I just thought, helping suspects. That's what a defense attorney does, you know?
Sure, we can do that too. The only thing that matters is that we find the real culprit in the end. So come on, let's get to work.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure you know already, but just to be clear, if our investigation ultimately proves you to be the culprit, we'll have no choice but to treat you like any other suspect. Peek! But you needn't worry. I believe you, or at least I have decided to try, for now. Just hold tight and try to believe in us, in return, if nothing else. It might help you to feel a little less alone. Now, if you'll excuse me. Okay, get to the bottom of this. March 28, 11:22 a.m. Detention Center. Corridor. So we talked a good game in there. But we can't even get back inside the main prison to see the scene of the crime.
Maybe defending the guy in court is our best bet after all.
Gummy can't defend for his life, remember? Well, who do we have here? Oh, it's Fender. If it isn't Edgeworth and the gang, what are you cats doing here?
Listen, pal, if you come here to harass Mr. Edgeworth again, I'll...
Hey, easy there, Detective Flatfoot Sholmes. I'm here to work. Work? What, you're here to defend somebody? I love you. I love his theme, by the way. Whoa, the K-Meister nails it in one. Aren't you just the uber intelligentes, one of the bunch? Uber intelligentes? That's not how you use either of those words, Fender. Some may say I'm an easygoing old rogue about town, but I'm actually not a half-bad attorney. Which is why I've been summoned to the old jailer Rooney for a meeting with a new client. The suspect is one Simony Sainsbury. Oh, you can't even say his name correctly. You mean Simeon Saint. Wow, that's freaky. You know more about my job than I do. Wait, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Fender's a defense attorney. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I fear I might be. In fact, it could be our only option. Not so long ago, I found myself embroiled in another case that wasn't mine. I managed to worm my way onto the crime scene by agreeing to be a certain someone's subordinate. Not an experience I ever wanted to repeat, but I fear I may have little choice. Mr. Fender, before you say another word, I just gotta point out the fine print Eddie Fender doesn't take, on associates. By the way, Eddie Fender, what that means is a defender. You guys told me that in the comments, I didn't notice that. But yeah, a lot of the Ace Attorney characters, their names actually mean something, so his name means a defender. Saying ain't so, I hear you protesting, but pompous prosecutors a no-go. Especially those of the Von Karma variety. I should have known he wouldn't forgive me that easily. I understand why you wouldn't want to work with someone like me. What's more, I understand how you feel about all things Von Karma. But please, believe me when I say, I'm not the man I was back then. I'm no longer under my old mentor's spell.
You better believe it, pal. Mr. Edgeworth's a changed man. Sure, he used to be the demon prosecutor, but he's not like that anymore.
I do have feelings, Detective. Gummy's right. Mr. Edgeworth's one of the good guys now. He's not just a prosecutor. He's a hero. He's got me off the hook just last month. You don't say. Well, that escalated quickly. But he was. There's no other word for it. He was heroic. Great fiefly, even. Please, Fender, don't you think there's something odd about the way the committee stepped in yesterday? There's more to this case than meets the eye. I'm certain of it. I can't just walk away from this. I can't! Please, allow me to help you with this investigation. Sheesh. A bow from the great Miles Edgeworth. A bow from the great Miles Edgeworth. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. So enlighten me, if you will. What made the leopard change his spots? Well, I suppose I would have to say, the courtroom itself. I've experienced so many things, and met so many people there within its four walls. Including some old friends who showed me a better way to be. How could that not change a person? He's talking about Phoenix. Because Edgeworth used to be a scumbag in the old Ace Attorney games, but Phoenix kind of changed his view. Well, I'll be. The old you would have never barred his soul like that. That was beautiful. You might have even surprised you-know-who, and you know how much that takes. Tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start again with a clean slate. So, this is me.
Edgeworth and Co. Law Offices? Eddie Fender's senior partner?
Edgeworth? That's right. Mr. Fender here began his legal career as an assistant to my late father, Gregory Edgeworth. What? Your dad was a defense attorney? So, the you-know-who Mr. Fender keeps talking about is... The clever Keymeister nails it one yet again. That's right, I was talking about his old man. Guess you all noticed I kept his name over the door, so to speak. Least I could do for old Gregory, really. Listen, Edgeworth, Miles. I'm going to level with you here. I don't trust you. Not fully, anyway. I can't just forget about all those years you spent licking Von Karma's boots, you know. Anyone can say they've changed. I'm going to need you to prove it. And besides, you know it's what Gregory would have wanted. Very well, I accept. Okay, then that's enough hardball for one day. Let's move on to the fun stuff. I hereby appoint you interim associate of Edgeworth and Co. Congrats, man. And I'll try not to let you down. Well, doesn't this bring a tear to the eye? The prodigal son, coming on board his late father's firm. Permission to come on board too, please, Mr. Fender? You don't even have to ask, kiddo. Welcome to the crew. Ooh, thanks, Captain. Alright, I guess it's time to go to work. So, where to begin? Any bright ideas, Miles? Where were we, when we were so rudely interrupted? Well, I guess it's safe to say that probably wasn't the victim. Indeed, it sounds more like to have been the person who found his body. I believe we need to speak with the person who found the body. Just what I was thinking, eager associate. We do indeed. Still a type to smile and nod, I see. That will certainly make my life easier, boss. Nah, that's decided. Let's get going.
What about me? I'm a detective. I can't just hop on board as an attorney's assistant like you guys.
He has a point. I can't leave him adrift all on his own now, can I? Detective Gumshoe, I have a special assignment for you. You are to continue investigating the case under Mr. Winter. And if you happen to discover anything that seems useful, you are to notify me immediately. You're in a uniquely powerful position, Detective, and I'm going to need all the info you can pass our way. Well, Winter can go after him for that.
You can count on me, sir. I'm a real pro when it comes to letting things slip into defense.
I'm a real pro when it comes to letting things slip into defense. It's because of how he made a lot of really stupid testimonies. In the past Ace Attorney games, a lot of his testimonies were really stupid. Trust me, I know. Just this once, those loose lips of yours might be what saves our ship. Throw wide the prison gates, good sirs, because here we come. March 28, 11:50 a.m. Where's the boxing guy? Oh, and the parrot is there. Oh my god, the parrot from the first game that was involved in a murder. I can't believe that it's there. So, any ideas how we can track down whoever found the Broncaster's body, Miles? I think our best bet would be to simply ask around. Oh, don't you dare. Who's that? Who is this? Excuse me, but... Oh, my, just look at you. Are you talking to me? Just fabulously chick, darling. Fabulously. Facial hair is so very, courant, don't you think? Enchanté, mademoiselle, and much obliged, defense attorney Eddie Fender at your service. Let's get things off on the right foot, shall we? A little embarrasser, perhaps. Oh, I like the sound of that. Right on the kisser. Well, how else, does one greet a new friend? A little smooch is entirely de rigueur, don't you think? Wow, talk about stealing a kiss. Indeed, an act so shameless it puts even great thieves to shame. Physical contact is so very important as a form of expression for our little family. Everyone in this lovely home will tell you as much. Hey, if everyone else is hip to that, I can be hip to that too. Sure. Fifi Lagarde, by the way, warden of this charming abode. You may call me Fifi, of course. So she's the warden of the entire detention center and prison facility, is she? A pleasure to meet you, Miss Lagarde. Miles Edgeworth. I am a associate with Mr. Fender's practice. I hope you don't mind me asking, but were you here in the prison yesterday? Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day, after all. Important in what way, exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh, heavens, no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday the circus came to visit. Circus? It was a simple, spectacular event featuring some terrifically talented animals. Anyone had to be there. If you were here at home, you were watching the show with me. The performer set up a special stage in the yard just for us. We are one very lucky family, n'est-ce pas? So she was at this circus performance for the inmates yesterday morning. Mr. Carceretto mentioned a show yesterday as well. He must have been talking about the same thing. What time did the show take place? Around 8 until 10, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Meaning it finished right around when the body was discovered. And by the dint of having attended the show, she has a reasonably solid alibi. Oh, would you look at the time? Sorry, darlings, but I really must dash. Feel free to explore a home, mi casa su casa, and all that. Ciao for now. That means my house, your house, in Spanish. And she's speaking a combination of Spanish and French. Well, what now, Mr. Edgeworth? The person who found the body screamed, and that scream was heard by one inmate that we know of. Therefore, our first task is to question this inmate, and see where his information will take us next. This guy, right? About the person who found the body, do you happen to know where he is right now? Could be in one of the workshops, I guess. Usually it is at this hour. Then it seems the workshop are our next port of the call. Do you have a moment? We have a few questions for you. Oh, who's a good girl? You are. You're just perfect. She really is. She's, beautiful. Meow! What? He's finally noticed me, I think. I was wondering... What's her name? It's Waggy, ma'am. She's my little friend. Yes, right. As you were then. What I need are answers, not, clawful puns. There's a rabbit here? Why is there a rabbit just... I nearly tripped over it. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Except it's humans, not the animals, who live in captivity here. No one would mind if I took one home with me, would they? If by home you mean behind bars, then no, I suppose not. I can see the crime scene through the window in this door. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just shove your whole face in front of a window like that. You have to do it more sneaky-like. Steal a few good looks while keeping out, a look for your enemies. I am not a criminal, Kay, so why should I have to behave like one? Ease, I was just trying to teach you my special sneak peek technique. Well, I have no need for any such technique. Thank you very much. Hello, anybody in there? Nice try, kiddo, but this isn't a bathroom stall. Yo, you there? Could you help us out here, my good man?
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Is somebody using this workshop right now?
Yes, sir. One of the prisoners in there. Just confirmed it myself during the noontime roll call.
We'd like to speak to the prisoner if that's all right.
Sure, I'll go fetch him right now. Won't take a sec.
This one's all yours, Milesy boy.
What? Why?
Let's just say I'd rather not roll the dice on someone I don't know, yeah.
Huh, and I thought adults were all supposed to be strong and brave.
Well, you're not looking so brave yourself right now, so let's call it even. Here they come.
Oh no, not him. Oh god. Him. Oh, I remember him. This guy's a murderer, by the way. This guy, do you know who this guy is? I forget his name, but this guy is the murderer in the very first Ace Attorney case. So the very first Ace Attorney game that came out in the late 1990s with Phoenix Wright. The very first one, that was on Game Boy, this guy is the murderer in that case. I remember him too. He was, the background behind this guy, he was a burglar. He pretended to be like a salesman, but he was actually a burglar, and he would basically watch for people leaving their apartments and break into their apartments. What happened was he broke into Larry's girlfriend's apartment, but she came home and he killed her. He killed her with a little statue figurine, and then he tried to blame Larry for it. And then Phoenix got to the bottom of it, but it was the very first case. Hello, yes, hello. I hear you wish to speak with me. Not exactly the hardened criminal we were expecting, is he? He's a murderer, though, yeah. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a public prosecutor. A prosecutor, you say?
Eddie Fender, attorney at law. What happened to being too scared to handle this? Listen, sorry about my pal here. He gets the weirdest ideas, heh. Prosecutor indeed. That'll be the day. He's actually just an associate. Geez, Miles, get a grip, will ya? He's right. I mustn't forget that I'm a defense attorney's assistant for the time being. Oh, that explains it. I did think you looked a little different from the prosecutor I spoke with yesterday.
Well, he's already spoken the winner.
Would you mind answering a few questions?
No, of course not. I'll be delighted.
The name's Sahwit. Frank Sahwit. The witness is all yours, my young associate.
Sure. Have the intern do everything, why not?
Mr. Sahwit, you are no doubt aware that a murder took place yesterday. Would you mind telling us where you were at the time the body was found? Yes. I was in that workshop there working, as one might expect. What kind of work were you doing? Well, I'm actually retraining at the moment. I'm hoping to become a stylist, you see. A pet stylist, that is, yes. So I've been studying hard and practicing every moment I can.
An unusual field of study befitting an unusual prison, I suppose.
And that's it. I certainly didn't see anything. Oh, look how sweaty he's getting. Interesting. I barely asked him anything at all, and he's already sweating bullets. So yes, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Sorry.
Hold it!
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Sahwit, for this interview has only just begun. I mean, even if you were to ask me, you know something, don't you? It's that's... He's definitely hiding something. I'll need to push him a little harder if I'm to get any answers. The first step is to analyze the situation. Let's take a look at our opponent. I didn't see anything. I really can't help you, I'm afraid. Something tells me he'd be a good poker player. It's hard to tell, much at all from his face. I don't think he'll be giving me much in the way of physical cues either. I'll have to rely solely on his words instead. That's the only way I'll know what's going on underneath. Alright, time to make my first move. Let's see who we're dealing with here. So yeah, he was a salesman in the first game, so he's gonna have that salesman attitude, always happy.
He may be good at hiding his emotions, but everyone has a tell. Mind chess, here we go. Find out who he is. What's your connection to this incident? Tell me, what's your connection to this incident? Which incident? The murder? Oh, well, it's nothing to do at all with me. Nothing. Really. I wouldn't dream of getting involved in anything as ghastly as that. Well, you see, how can I put this? Well, I like to think of myself as an upstanding citizen, a good person, if you will. Yeah, sure you are. A good person who's in prison. Forgive me, Mr. Sahwit, but under normal circumstances, good people do not tend to end up in prison. That's... So you do well to tell me what you know about the incident. How many times do I have to tell you people? I don't know anything, I swear. Bide my time, or... Sorry, I don't know what more to say, but I can't help you. My apologies, Mr. Sahwit. But considering that the incident occurred right here in the prison, I find it very hard to believe that you know nothing at all. Oh, well, yes, I suppose I can see how it might seem unlikely, but it's true. If you're looking for the person who found the body, you have to look elsewhere. The person who found the body, you. Why do you think I'm looking for the person who found the body? I certainly never mentioned any such thing to you. Is it because you do know something you're not telling me after all? No, I just sense that, who you might be looking for, that's all. I'm simply a pet stylist in training. I don't know anything, truly. There's no doubt about it now. This man is hiding something big. In which case, let's find out what he did yesterday, the day of the incident. My opponent is very good at hiding his true feelings, but not for long. It's time to smash that mask of his, and see what lurks behind that phony smile. Tell me about the day of the incident. Find out what he did yesterday. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to do with the murder, then you have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, I mean, so much happened. What were you doing? I want to know what you were doing, Mr. Sahwit, in detail. I told you, I'm a pet stylist in training. And that's what I was doing yesterday, training. Specifically, I was, giving the animals a trim. You didn't notice any commotion at the time of the incident. I would imagine things were suddenly quite, tumultuous around here. Well, commotion, you say? No, not really. Maybe I heard someone, but... Were they, screaming? You heard someone. Was this someone screaming by any chance? And don't try to tell me you don't remember. You continue to assert that you know nothing about the incident, Mr. Sahwit. But I'm afraid I don't believe a word of it. Ah. No, I thought I heard someone yelling, but... I don't really remember. The fact that he heard a scream at the time of the murder may well prove to be a useful clue. I would do well to bear it in mind. Tell me about the day of the incident. Find out what he did yesterday. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to do with the murder, then you have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, I mean, so much happened. How are things in the prison? What was it like here in the prison yesterday morning? I really don't remember. I don't have the best memory, I'm afraid. Time to deploy my clue. You said you heard a scream. You don't remember? Please. You literally just confirmed that you heard a scream. Oh, but I might have been mistaken. The truth is, I really don't remember. Your memory fails you yet again. How convenient. But I know you're lying, Mr. Sahwit. How dare you talk to me like... I mean, I'm not lying. Bide my time. Look, if you must know, when I'm working with the animals and I get into zone, they're all I see. Am I to understand you have something of a talent for animal grooming then? Well, my scissor technique could use a little work, but I'd say I'm quite good with the animals. They seem to like me. I'm especially good at calming them down when they get scared. Scared. And when exactly do they get scared? Surely it doesn't happen very often. Well, that's... No, thankfully it doesn't. A scream would certainly frighten them. A loud scream would certainly frighten the animals, wouldn't it? Why are you going to such lengths to deny having heard the scream? What is it that you're hiding, Mr. Sahwit? Tell me. I can assure you I'm not hiding anything. I'll admit I really did hear somebody scream. But I'm not hiding anything. I promise. The mask is finally beginning to crack. Now to shatter it completely by asking about the scream itself in more detail. I'm afraid you're about to learn a painful lesson, Mr. Sahwit. That hiding things from me never ends well for my opponent. Find out more about the scream. When did you hear the scream? Who did you hear screaming? When did you hear the scream? When did you hear the scream? Oh, wait. Now I remember. I forgot about the show. They put on a show for us prisoners around the time of the incident, you see? Yes, performing animals, if I remember rightly. That's where I was in the morning. So now you wish to claim that you didn't hear a scream because you were at the show. You do realize that goes completely against everything you've told me so far. And what are you gonna do about it, huh? That is, my memory is patchy, as they say. Find out more about the scream. Someone seems to be hopping. Enough with the phony smile. Bide my time. The animal show really had to be seen to be believed. It did it? Tell me, what kind of animals did you see? Let me think. A whale? You weren't actually at the show, were you? There was no whales. Enough of your lies. You were nowhere near the show, were you? Gah! Well, I seem to remember being there, but maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. It's clear Mr. Sahwit wasn't at the show. This feels like a vital clue. Who did you hear screaming? Who did you hear screaming? Oh, wait, I just realized I made a mistake. When the incident happened, I was out in the yard, yes. So, I didn't hear anyone screaming. No one at all. Time to deploy my clue. You weren't at any show. How long are you planning to keep up these lies? I already know that you weren't at the show. God. The game's up, Mr. Sahwit. It's high time you tell me the truth. I demand to know about this scream, now. I can't tell you what I don't know. But why is he hiding something? I didn't hear any scream. Not from the person who found the body. Wait, it wasn't the victim who screamed. How curious. Most people would assume that the scream had come from the victim. So then, why do you think it came from the person who found the body, Gah! I made a mistake. That's all. How, Mr. Sahwit? How did you know that it was the person that found the body who screamed? It's, because you're the one who found the body. Shall I tell you? You knew because it was you who found the body. And the scream that was heard when the incident occurred didn't come from the victim. It came from you. Ah! How did you... I'm getting good at this. I got through that whole mine chest without making one mistake. It's true, I admit it, but what gives you the right to treat people like this? Checkmate. Beat that mine chest without making one mistake. That was good. Now that we've established that you were the one who found the body, Mr. Sahwit, I believe you have lost any standing you might have had to withhold your cooperation. Oh, alright, you win. But I'm sure I won't have anything useful to tell you. It probably isn't even worth your time. That's not for you to decide. By my hand, the truth will be revealed. Every decision I make is to ensure that end. Except, that's not exactly what we're here to do, is it? What do you mean? We're not trying to expose the truth. We're trying to save Simeon. That's what we do now, remember? We work to get our client out of trouble. Not as a prosecutor, but as a defense attorney's assistant. What the K-Meister said. You need to listen to the kid more, you know? The client has requested the services of Edgeworth & Co. And as your old man always said, your relationship with your client comes before everything else. So if you think Mr. Saint's well-being is taking a backseat to some quest for the truth, well, let's just say I don't like to fire people, so I need you to fight against your instincts a little harder, yeah? This will take some getting used to. In any case, the importance of this man's testimony remains unchanged. Therefore, Mr. Sahwit, I'm asking you once more, what happened when you found the body? Finding the corpse. I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I'd learned. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. I happened to peek in through the little window. And then, I saw him lying there, a man not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror. Let me get this straight. The room you were, in, see here. The room you were in, is next to the one where the corpse was found. Yes, that's right. I was in Workshop B. And you were there the whole day. Yes, from the 7 a.m. roll call onwards. There are 3 roll calls a day, you see. 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m. And they check who's in the workshop during the roll call, correct? That's right. Nothing was reported to be amiss at 7 a.m., which means that Knight's body wasn't in the workshop yet at that point in time. Held 3-time prisoner roll call. Held 3 times a day, 7 a.m., noon, and 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m. The victim's body had not been found at the time of the 7 a.m. roll call, so he was killed before 7 a.m. Wait, the victim's body had not been found at the time of the 7 a.m. roll call, so he was still alive then. Guess that means the murder took place after 7 a.m. Which puts it right around the time of the show was happening. Ah yes, the show. I remember the other prisoners going to see it. And therefore, anybody who wasn't at the show has no alibi. Wouldn't that be a fair assessment, Mr. Sahwit? I guess so, but I only found the body, I swear. There's a clear contradiction in Mr. Sahwit's testimony. Rooting it out should be my first priority. I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I'd learned.
Hold it!
What exactly were you practicing? How to be a pet stylist, of course. I'm a model prisoner, after all. So he keeps saying. When you think about it, this guy has been in prison longer than any other, any other character that we know because of the fact that he's the murderer from the first case. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop.
Hold it!
You found yourself there, really? That's right. And then I found myself, peeking through the little window in the door. Why did you think to do that? Gosh, I don't know. I just found myself doing it, really. You clearly weren't concentrating on your work then. No, that's not true. I'm a model prisoner. It just, all the other prisoners had gone to watch the show. I guess I was, well, kind of lonely. Like being stuck at school after everybody else has gone home, huh? Yes, exactly like that. Anyway, I found myself in front of the door of the other workshops then. I happened to peek in through that little window.
Hold it!
Does that mean you didn't get a good look inside? No, I couldn't. The window was not only small, but it had bars over, you see? Not exactly a panoramic view. They're just so that the guards can check what's going on, right? That's right. Yes, you're very knowledgeable, young lady. You bet. I guess you could say I know a little something about prisons now, too. I'll have to remind myself to address this newfound interest later. Anyway, yes, I peeked in through the little window in the workshop door. And then I saw him lying there, a man not moving, dead.
Hold it!
Could you tell right away if it was a man or a woman. It was clearly a man. His physique, his clothes. It was also very clear that he was dead. You could tell just by peeking through the little window. Look, let's just say this wasn't my first dead body. What? You mean you're in prison for... To my eternal shame, yes. This was, however, the first time I had seen another person's handiwork up close, so... I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror. Do you recall how exactly you screamed? Any words you might have used? No. I only remember that I screamed. Folks don't tend to remember how much when they're busy crying out in terror, Miles. Exactly, so yes, I screamed. That's all I remember. He presents himself as an innocent bystander, but nothing could be further from the truth. Given what he is, things couldn't have happened as he claims. The contradiction in his testimony is as clear as day. I just need to present evidence that proves it. So he's got a contradiction in what he's saying. Door sensors. They open the door if an animal is detected, but raise the alarm if an inmate's bracelet is detected. Prisoners are not allowed to move about freely. I think it's this.
Objection!
Enough of these pathetic lies, Mr. Sahwit. I'm afraid you've rather lost sight of what you are. What I am? I know precisely what I am. I'm a former newspaper salesman who's training to be a pet stylist. But that's not all you are, is it? Or did you forget the bracelet you wear around your wrist? A bracelet that marks you as a prisoner, and therefore unable to move around as you please. As we both know, stepping outside that door would have sounded an alarm. Well, that's... But there's no way you could have looked into the other workshop without leaving the room you were in. Ah! Ow! Stylishly, done, Edgeru. But doesn't this mean that Mr. Sahwit couldn't have found the body then? Good question, Kay. Perhaps Mr. Sahwit himself can explain. So actually, I may have forgotten to mention one very important detail. Sorry about that. I can explain exactly how I was able to see the body, if you like. By all means, go ahead. Finding the corpse, part 2. There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see? As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering the alarm. That's how I was able to peek through the window and into the workshop next door. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright. So he's saying he was able to take a look next door because he had kept his arm inside workshop B as he leaned out. Please don't tell anyone about our little trick, especially not the guards, please. Is this it? Is this all he was hiding? I better dig a little deeper into his testimony, just in case. This little trick we prisoners know about, you see. Tell me some more about this trick, Mr. Sahwit. Of course, it's quite simple, really. As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering the alarm. I suppose this allows you to enjoy a little taste of freedom. It does. To be honest, it's one of the few things that brings me joy anymore. A rather surprising source of joy, but rule breaking isn't exactly a demonstration of remorsefulness, is it? Oh, but I am remorseful. I always am. I'm a model prisoner, after all. I'm beginning to suspect that he doesn't know what a model prisoner actually is. So he used this trick to peek through the window. That's right, yes. I made sure the guard wasn't looking, and then leaned out into the corridor. That's how I was able to peek through the window into the workshop, but would he be able to stretch that far?
Hold it!
Why did you make so much of an effort just to take a look? Well, you see, I heard noises coming from next door. And that room was supposed to be empty, so I thought it was strange. And you went to look as soon as you heard these noises. Yes, of course. I had to see what was going on, so I went right away. I see. Are there any problems with what Mr. Sahwit just said? It's possible he might not have heard anything because the cells, or the workshops, there is a problem. You claim that you looked into the next room as soon as you heard some noise. If that's the case, you must have seen more than just a dead body. Because the person who made the noises should have been in there too. That's also a good point. You've got him quaking in his boots, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Sahwit, tell us about the truth, what you saw. You do, of course, have the right to remain silent, but it will do little to dispel the notion that you were somehow involved in this crime. I'm sorry. I did see something else, but it's too insane to believe. I really thought I might have dreamt it. That's why I wasn't sure if I should mention it. It's probably the dog. Just tell us what you saw. Alright. It was that dog. I knew it. And what I saw is the stuff of nightmares. That huge black dog had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat. What did you just say? It was hellish. Utterly hellish. That beast. That awful beast. He killed him. Suddenly I don't feel so good. Jeepers creepers. That's awful. Talk about traumatizing. It was dreadful. Horrible. Now you know why I couldn't help but scream. So there's a man-eating dog in the prison's animal population, is there? Sahwit claims to have seen this dog biting into the victim's throat. He doesn't seem to like me very much. Black dog. And that really is everything, I promise. You believe me, don't you? For now. This one seems too far-fetched to lie, even for you. I'd like you to append what you just told us to your testimony, if you don't mind. Very well. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright.
Hold it!
How much do you remember of the man you saw? Oh, I remember everything. Let's see. He had a blonde hair, and his neck was covered in blood because he was dead. Yes, we know that, Mr. Sahwit. Thank you very much. I'm just telling you what I saw. I thought you attorneys were obsessed with the little details. There's some serious venom behind those words. Something tells me he may not have had the best experience with defense attorneys in the past. Yeah, Phoenix. I also saw that black dog, his mouth clamped tight around that man's throat.
Hold it!
You're sure this black dog was biting the victim's throat? Yes, there was blood everywhere. The beast's mouth was dripping with it. And... Whoa. Spare us the gory details, will you? What about the victim? Was he... Eek. Don't say it. Do you really, need to ask him that, Mr. Edgeworth? Ah, okay. What was that punch for? I'm on your side here. He wasn't moving at all. He was just lying there. Meaning he was already dead. There was so much blood just oozing from his neck. Oh, he was dead as a doornail, I'm sure of that. Not even the twitch of a finger. Just lifeless. Eek, enough already. Why do you have to go into every little detail like that? To give you a nice and accurate testimony. That is, what you want, isn't it? Shall I add what I've said to my testimony, Mr. Edgeworth? Please do. It was awful, I tell you. Terrible. His ring. He shouldn't have been able to see the ring because he was covered in the tarp. I remember seeing his ring gleaming as it caught the light. It featured a snowflake motif in relief. Yeah, this.
Objection!
He shouldn't have been able to see the ring. He tampered with the crime scene. A ring with a snowflake relief. Yes, I saw it clear as day. It was carved in such fine detail. Interesting. Your testimony is certainly very accurate. In fact, I'd say it's just a little too accurate. And? What's wrong with being too accurate? I mean this. You testified having seen a ring with a snowflake design on it. And while the victim did indeed have a ring on his finger. See? Exactly as I said. There is no way you could have seen it. Take a look at this photograph. As you can see, the victim's right hand was covered by a tarp. It would have been impossible for you to see his ring, let alone what design was on it. Unless, that is, you approached the body and removed the sheet. You told us earlier you only took a look through the window in the door. Yet you seem to have quite a lot from such a disadvantaged location, Mr. Sahwit. Who the heck do you think you are, huh, Mr. Big Shot? Acting like you know it all? I mean, I saw what I saw, I swear. Oh, I know. The man's arm. It must have moved under that tarp after I peeked in.
Objection.
Nonsense. You already told us that can't have been the case. He wasn't moving at all. He was just lying there. Meaning he was already dead. You said it yourself, that the victim was already dead. And dead men don't move, do they? Wait, is that the stench of the desperation I smell? What are you hiding, Mr. Sahwit? Tell us. No, You're wrong. I know what I saw. You couldn't let it go, could you? Had to keep poking and prodding. You slimy two-bit associate attorney! So now we see the real Mr. Sahwit, the murderer. It seems the real Mr. Sahwit... Oh, Edgeworth said it too. The real Mr. Sahwit has finally revealed himself. Whoa, that's quite the rug he was rocking. Came straight at you like some kind of flying black cat. Look, I'm just a sweet innocent witness here. What are you really? Because I must say, I have doubts. Very serious doubts. What's that supposed to mean? You saw something that should have been impossible to see from the outside the workshop. So, how did you do it? That's simple. Mr. Sahwit, this is where you were standing when you saw the body. Workshop A.
Take that.
You were in the same room as the body. That's the only way you could have seen the relief on the ring. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Say what you want, but you don't have a shred of evidence, do you? Nothing to prove I was in the room with the body, anyway. You can't prove it, can you? Because I was in the room next over. Minding my own business and looking after the animals. Why else would I have signed, out a pair of rubber gloves for fun? A pair of gloves? But where is his other glove? Now put up or shut up. I want to see evidence that proves I was in that room with the body. The glove. Only one glove was found. Yeah, this. The glove. Yeah, exactly. He just basically doomed himself.
Take that.
Remind me, Mr. Sahwit, what were you doing when you discovered the body? How many times do I was practicing my pet styling techniques. Of course, then perhaps this rubber glove might mean something to you. That's... This glove was found by the victim's body. I believe it was dropped by the killer. And I can't help but notice that you have a similar glove tucked into your apron. No, this one's different.
Hold it.
Yes, that one does seem awfully lonely, doesn't it? It's just a rubber glove. There are hundreds of them all over the prison. This doesn't prove anything. Not yet, perhaps, but if I were to ask the police to check this glove for prints, I have a feeling that results would be rather fascinating. It's over.
Objection.
Ooh, what the? That was a pretty rad objection, am I right? Please, Fender, now's not the time for tomfoolery. But I have a legit objection, because this isn't over. There's something that still doesn't make sense. Our man here's a prisoner, right? And he's got one of those bracelet doohickeys on. That's true, so how could he have left his workshop in the first place? His bracelet would have triggered the alarm if he tried. Right, we don't have a good explanation for that yet. Well, anything you'd like to share, good buddy? We're all friends here. That's weird. He should be clinging onto that bracelet like the big, round, lifesaver it is. In what way? As in, it's the best hope our wig-flinging friend here has for getting off the hook for murder. Sorry, can't get into the crime scene with a bracelet on. If it was me, I'd be arguing that for my life. And yet, he hasn't said a peep about it. I wonder why that might be, The sound of silence, I suppose. Miss, Law Priestess did preach that silence is golden yesterday, too. Whoa! You sound like an actual attorney for a second there, Mr. Fender. The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show our biggest smiles. Gregory taught me that. It was part of the attorney's code he lived by. So, friend, what's the dealio? Why so coy about your bracelet? Well, to tell you the truth, it's broken. Broken. I fell over a little while back, you see, and I hit it on the floor. After that, it didn't seem to set the sensors off anymore. I should have told the guards about it, I know, but, well, it was awfully convenient. See, so your bracelet is broken. But do they really break that easily? If so, then this prison has a serious security problem. You there. Can we have a moment? Oh, aren't Mew just the cutest? Aha! Meow, how can I help you, sir? This prisoner's bracelet appears to be broken. What, really? That's not good. I'll get someone to find a replacement right away. Thank you. We'll keep a hold of the broken one for the time being. Sahwit's bracelet wasn't working at the time of the incident, and could not be detected by the sensors. Of course, sir. I trust you'll take good care of it. Sweet, bracelet sorted. Now, to turn our murderer in, yeah? What? No, I didn't kill anybody. Whoa there, Palio. You were the one who said your bracelet was out of commission. Or were there other inmates freely roaming the halls while everybody was busy watching the show? No, I just found the body, that's all, I promise. And when I did, that enormous dog still has his mouth wrapped around the poor man's neck. I only went into the workshop after the beast had left. And why did you go in? Well, oh fine, I wanted to go through his pockets, okay? He was going to rob the corpse. That explains why he remembers Knight's ring in so much detail. Hey, why are you looking at me like that? I'm a great thief. I never stooped so low as to steal from a... Well, I didn't steal anything either. The show ended just after I entered the room, and all the other inmates came trickling downstairs thereafter. I panicked, rushed back to the other workshop, and started my fake, screaming. And dropped the glove in your haste, huh? Found a workshop A, used by Sahwit when he was doing his animal styling training, stained with blood and mud. I guess it's all about this hangs together. Anything smells funky to you, Miles? Other than whether Mr. Sahwit is the one who did it, I'd say one very significant question still remains. The question of how Knight made it into the prison proper from his holding cell in the detention center. Exactly, how the body got here. And was he killed in the other, prison block, or was he killed here? Well, yeah, that one's a doozy. I also can't help but wonder about another key feature of Mr. Sahwit's testimony. That dog's involvement can only mean one thing. Mr. Sahwit. Yes, what is it? Were you the only prisoner who didn't go to watch the show? Well, no. There was one other who didn't. Am I right in thinking that this person couldn't have watched the show even if he wanted to? Yes. How did you... I knew it. I had my suspicion when we first ran into that black dog yesterday, but this confirms it. For a criminal that dangerous to end up in a place like this is unbelievable, but... Where is this person's cell? You're going to see him? Who are we talking about here? Him. He's not like the other prisoners, he's special. Gets treated like royalty. But you don't hear that from me. All I'll say is, if you value your life, you'll stay well away from him. What? Will you please stop trying to scare us all the time? The big cheese, huh? Well, I for one definitely value my life, so that sucks. That dog has a bell, so is the prisoner blind? They keep him in maximum security. Which is over there. Maximum security. Well, that's certainly one way of treating someone differently. A map of the facility, including the detention center and the prison proper. Alright, quit being so mysterious and just tell us who he is already. Let's just say he's highly skilled when it comes to people's lives. Better than anyone, in fact. And, that's all I'm prepared to say on the subject. In fact, I may have already said too much. Well, Milesy, anything you care to share? Or are you going to leave Kay and I in the dark here, too? This mystery man in maximum security is an old acquaintance. Let's go pay him a visit. I suspect we'll find our dark canine friend there, too. This looks like the way to the prison yard. Sadly, the shutter is locked tight. Prima waits on just the other side. A stoic lock and a key twixt mine eyes and nose and the outdoor breeze. Such a cruel fate it is, indeed. The more I think on, the more it eats at me. And whose thoughts are you attempting to channel exactly with that soliloquy? This is maximum security. Who's in here? March 28, 12:41 p.m. Prison maximum security. I wonder if it's gonna be a murderer from the past games. Wow, it's pitch black in there. I can't see a thing. But then you say that the Yatagarazu takes, flight even in the dead of night or something. Even in the depths of night, when no other bird, dares to take flight. One alone soars to shine, the light of righteousness on the world's, blight. And that one is me, for I am the great thief Yatagarazu. Whoa, you are one powerful performer. Thanks, but that doesn't help me see in the dark. I'm a human, not a three-legged raven. Eek. What? Ah, Mr. Edgeworth. That voice. I knew it. It has been far too long. You remember me. I could hardly forget now, could I? After all, you are the one who put me away. Mr. Edgeworth, are you talking to that dog? Or is there someone else in there? Still can't see a dang thing. Oh, but I'm forgetting myself. Forgive me. I do not often receive visitors. One moment. I will turn on the lights. You are a heavy-footed lot. I don't recognize this guy. Am I right in thinking that there are the three of you in all? Very well. Perhaps we should start by introducing ourselves. I am Bodhi, Harma Canis. Body harms Kane? Body harm what? It means something. Body harm Kane? As you may have gathered, Mr. Edgeworth, and I are old acquaintances. Canis was a notorious assassin. Some knew him as the Blind Butcher. His only weapons were a vicious hunting hound and a fearsome sharp knife. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. The last sound his victims would ever hear. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I to guess why you have come to see me? You know why I'm here, in fact. I'm willing to bet you know every detail of this sordid little affair already. And I suppose we have nothing to hide from one another. Suspicion of murder. Your faithful canine friend is currently the chief suspect in the murder investigation. The person who found the body saw a dog with its mouth around the victim's throat. Your witness is mistaken. Helmut is a gentle soul. He is my eyes, nothing more. It is absurd to think that he would do such a thing, isn't it, boy? Yes it is. You're a good boy, aren't you? Helmut is more than a mere seeing eye dog, and he's certainly no good boy. He's also a trained killer. A weapon once used in this man's sordid trade. This witness of yours, he is trustworthy, I assume? Sahwit is anything but trustworthy, and he's still very much a suspect himself. I can hardly claim that his testimony is beyond reproach. No, then. I thought as much. Yes, I did, Helmut. Yes. It figures that he already knew who our witness is. Your alibi. He's gonna say he was in here. What were you doing between 8 and 10 a.m. yesterday morning, Mr. Canis? During the show, you mean? I was here, ensconced in these humble surroundings. I've developed a passion for wood carving, you see, an obsession even. I was engrossed in it all morning. And you have permission to engage in such a hobby. I can't believe someone would actually let you. He has a chess set. The warden and I have an understanding. An understanding? That's ridiculous! This man shouldn't be allowed one, let alone 5, chisels. Then nothing but lethal weapons in his hands. I was carving Buddhist pieces at first, but by the 674th, my interest had begun to wane. Whoa, that must have taken forever. Time is all I have, child. In any case, my focus is now shifted to pieces such as these. I didn't know you played chess. You play too, do not, prosecutor. Perhaps one day you might indulge me. Though you may find my game rather rudimentary, I only begin after my arrival here, I am afraid. What's that piece? A dog with 3 heads. Yeah, that is not a chess piece. Ah yes, the dogs of war. You must forgive my little joke. Chess is after all a game of war, soldiers, knights, castles. All doing their utmost to protect the king, all loyal to the last. I have always thought it strange that such a game has no place for a dog. After all, what more loyal weapon could any army call upon? Still, it's simply a piece I made for fun. Fear not, I play by the regular rules, and of all the regular pieces. I can't imagine it's easy finding opponents to play here in prison, though. Oh, I have my correspondence. Correspondence chess, then? Sharing moves by post? Yes, even prisoners are allowed to send and receive letters. Their contents are inspected, of course. Although, I have yet to receive the details of my current opponent's next move. Card for fun by Canis. He also seems to be engaged in correspondence chess via postal mail. Sounds like this current opponent isn't a resident here. The victim. I suppose you know the identity of the deceased, Mr. Canis. His name was Bronco Knight, was it not? Poor unfortunate soul. You keep your ear to the ground. My ears are all I have, Mr. Edgeworth. Why am I not surprised that he's plugged into the prison's information network? But perhaps he was not so unfortunate after all. What do you mean? Mr. Knight's crime was a grave one. A crime for which he would have been made to pay dearly anyway. The attempted assassination of a president. That is no small matter. Attempted assassination. Wait, Mr. Edgeworth, didn't Mr. Knight... Yes, we proved that he murdered his team leader. And there were no attempts on the president's life. Could it be... Are they attempting to cover up President Wang's fake assassination scheme? Whoa there, cowboy. You're saying the broadcaster didn't actually have a pop at the prez? I was hired to defend him on the charge of attempted murder. You mean you don't know what really happened? So what, they just blamed the whole assassination thing on Mr. Knight? It would explain why the committee was keen to get involved. It's causing a diplomatic incident. Of course, they took you off the case to try and keep you away. And swapped in that Winter kid to push through an attempted murder charge. In other words, they're trying to cover up the truth. So they really were trying to frame him. According to the guards, this Knight was it. They tell me he was violently insistent that he had attempted no assassination. Which would have come out anyway when the case went to trial. I am no expert in legal matters, but allow me to say one thing. I know for certainty that he would not have been the first inmate in prison on false pretenses. An uncomfortable fact, but a fact nonetheless. Yes, Helmet. Yes, it is. Yes. The courtroom was not always the bastion of truth you believe it to be, Mr. Edgeworth. No bastion of truth, huh? I've heard something to that effect before. Yes, from a certain Interpol agent who doesn't have much faith in prosecutors. You're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors too, are you? Fueled by that kind of thinking, is it any wonder that courts produce nothing but falsities and lies? Sorry, but the truth doesn't need the likes of you to distort it today. I never was able to fully dispel his mistrust of prosecutors. Even Helmet understands, don't you, Helmet? Yes, you do. The truth's revealed in court and your deductions. It is dangerous to trust either implicitly. But I'm not bitter. You are not the first to make me a subject of unfounded suspicions in recent days. In fact, I was visited by another prosecutor only yesterday. He was accompanied by a judge. They even dragged the warden along here, her distaste for me lingering unspoken in the air. Not those two again. Prosecutor Winter and Judge Gavelle. They went over my cell with a fine-tooth comb, but they left empty-handed. They were looking for the murder weapon, I believe, to no avail. But I mustn't take it personally. Rumor has it that they searched every cell in the prison, and still failed to find what they were looking for. I pray they weren't too disappointed. Prison search data jotted down in my organizer. Winter, Gavelle, and the warden searched the prison for the murder weapon, but couldn't find anything. You know, I'm really curious if the murder weapon is actually the dog's teeth. That's actually a possibility. Because we saw I remember in the first cutscene we saw a shadowy figure and we saw the dog the dog had a bloody mouth. Well, that posed more questions than it answered. What do we do now? Sahwit's testimony is flimsy at best. I'll need more proper evidence if I want to take Canis on. Well, I think that's quite enough chit-chat for one day. Helmet will show you out. Good boy, Helmet. Go on now. Whoa. He's not showing us out permanently, right? Let's get out of here, come on. Until next time, Mr. Canis. It does pain me that our brief time must end, just as we were becoming reacquainted. I await your return, Mr. Edgeworth. What is K doing? March 28, 1:12 p.m. Prison, corridor. Now to gather the evidence, I need to bolster my case. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! That's the best hiding spot you could find? It's alright, Kay. You can calm down now. Where's Fender? He ran off somewhere. I had no idea he could move that fast. Fender. So what do we do now? You and I will continue the investigation, and I will know just where to start. By solving that one particular mystery that's been dogging us, this whole time. Knight's body was found in one of the prison workshops. But he was presumably being detained in one of the detention center's holding cells. So how did he wind up on the other side of those heavy security doors? Let's start by investigating the holding cells. And Mr. Knight's room, right? But, what about Mr. Fender? I'm sure he'll find us when he's ready. Sure, but he is kind of our boss, isn't he? Oh well. March 28, 1:34 p.m. Detention center. Corridor. The victim's cell is just over there. Lead the way, Mr. Edgeworth. I've just about had it. Who's that? Warden Lagarde. She must have come from the corridor marked no entry. He's still not talking, ma'am. Even with the evidence you borrowed, from the precinct. No, and I've tried so many times, I've lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a blank report. I guess a killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack. Killer for hire. Oh. I couldn't help over here in Warden Lagarde, but were you just talking about Canis? My, you were listening. How very gosh of you. A girl's privacy is her armor, you know. Do you normally conduct interrogations of the man yourself? Oh, it's not just him, darling. I try to have the occasional tete-a-tete with everyone, you see. That's what it means to be a member of the family in this little home of ours. There isn't a person who hasn't, made a pilgrimage to my office at least once. Your office. How sweet. He's angling for an invite. Well, I suppose it is the hottest ticket in town. It's down this corridor here, darling. But FYI, don't let anybody wander in willy-nilly. Let's see. That would put it right around here. It's a wonderful a room, if I do say so myself, and all my guests rave about it. So you can get through the warden's office, you can get through. And who wouldn't want a view of my fabulous garden and the yard? Ooh, la la. The yard. If it's anything like the rest of the place, it's probably full of adorable animals, right? Can I see? A map of the facility, including the detention center and the prison proper. Oh, darling. It's so sweet of you to take an interest, but I'm afraid that's just not possible. Why not? Because you're not a member of our home. If you want to see it that badly, you just have to get convicted for doing something unspeakable. That's a rather steep price to pay. Oh, but just listen to me chattering away like there's no tomorrow. It's time for Allie's lunchy brunch. The poor dear will be dying. Allie? The sweetest little deer in all the world. I know I shouldn't have favorites, but you know how it is. Now, to the yard with me. Ciao for now, darlings. I wanted to ask her more about Canis, but she dominated that conversation from the start to finish. Let's go investigate the victim's cell, shall we? Okay, so this is Knight's cell. March 28, 1:43 p.m. Detention center. Holding cell. So this is Knight's cell. When do you think he was brought in, Mr. Edgeworth? It would have to have been the evening of the 25th, just after the events at the lake. And then at some point, he wound up in the prison proper, but how? There must be some evidence here that will point us in the right direction. Alright, let's get looking, Mr. Edgeworth. Begin investigation. Reflected in the mirror is... camera. A security camera, a great thief's greatest enemy. Nothing about this place is very thief-friendly, if I'm being honest. I think that might be entirely deliberate, Kay. Guard! I'd like you to retrieve the footage from the security camera and review it as carefully as you can. If you see anything out of the ordinary, inform me immediately. Yes, sir! I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. What is this? Oh, what's the menu doing here, Mr. Edgeworth? It seems that those held in the detention center are able to choose what they like to eat each day. If they can afford it, that is. Money makes the world go round, I guess. Well, doesn't that make life super easy for rich detainees? Well, okay, bear in mind that the people held in these cells haven't been found guilty yet. Some of them don't deserve to be punished. Quite a few of them, in fact. So you're saying it's fine that people with money don't have as hard of a time as everybody else? How did I wind up defending the practices of the detention system? What's this, a crossword? Hey, look at this weird piece of paper. There's some sort of grid on it. Let's take a closer look. Next move, bishop to g2. The grid appears to be a chess diagram, the victims, I suppose. Wait, I wonder if he was giving correspondence to Canis. What's a chess diagram? A visual representation of a game of chess. See how the locations of all the pieces are marked. This seems to be a closely fought contest. Perhaps if this pawn here were... No, wait. Not now, Mr. Edgeworth. This is no time to be playing games. Yes, I suppose you're right. This isn't the first time I've seen this configuration of pieces. It was from a different perspective, but it was definitely the same game. Perhaps it would be wise to take another look at the evidence in my possession. Could this be related to the evidence somehow?
Eureka!
This chess game. I've seen it before. Enough with the chit-chats, Mr. Edgeworth. We're supposed to be investigating around here. Focus. I'm investigating. This particular bit of chess chat could prove to be vital now. Take a look at this. Can you tell me what it is? It's a chess game we saw Mr. Canis' cell. But, I don't really know the rules of chess, so... The rules of the game are not important here. What is important are the positions of the pieces. Compare the ones in Mr. Canis' cell with, these. Do you notice anything? Ah! I don't know, which piece is which or anything, but... If you turn a diagram like this, there are pieces in the same squares. Indeed, there's no dog on the diagram, but that's to be expected. Apart from that, however, the positions of the pieces are identical. And what does that tell us? Oh, I have my correspondence. As unlikable as it may seem, Mr. Canis' chess opponent was Mr. Knight. This could be just a proof we need to show that Mr. Canis had a connection to the victim. The positions of the chess of the pieces match those on the board in Canis' cell. Wow, that's a lot of books. Let's take a look. You'll Laugh Tomorrow, an anthology. Understanding Animal Emotions. Life as a Pet Stylist. Maybe there was more to Mr. Knight than met the eye. Sadly, I don't think these were his. They were likely specifically selected and placed here for the detainees, with the hopes that they would want to better themselves during their time here. Second Chance at Life. Interviews with a former prisoner. These books appear to have been written by current model prisoners and former inmates. Oh, I like the look of this one. 200 Days to Freedom, an escape story. And this one too, Making Money While Serving Time. This facility may have more deeply rooted problems than I thought. The bowel is nice and spotless, and there are no signs that toilet paper has been used. Everything seems to be in order with this toilet here. What? Are you serious? Why? What's wrong? There's no door. There's not even a curtain. Whoever designed this place should have thought a little more about the people who have to live here. I think there might be a reason behind the open plan layout. What's this note? Standard barred window. No signs of having been tampered with. I don't think there's any chance our killer escaped through here. Aha! Must remember to bring something to saw through iron bars with. As I say, failed to prepare. Prepare to fail. Glad I got the chance to scope this place out. Okay, we're investigating a crime scene, not preparing for your eventual escape. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Hey look, this newspaper's got a chunk of it missing. You're right. A few pages have been roughly torn out. Newspaper from the day before the incident. A few of the pages have been roughly torn out. But why? Maybe Mr. Knight wanted to clean his cell, and didn't have a cleaning cloth. It's not a totally implausible theory, I suppose, but who would try to clean their cell? This must be Knight's suit jacket. So I've been doing some research of my own. Oh? And what have you discovered? I've discovered that the guys who look good in suits tend to be popular with the ladies. But don't worry. Guys with frilly neck ruffles are next on my research list. Please stop. This bed doesn't look very comfortable. Well, that pillow cover is clean. Very clean. Spotless, in fact. I bet this is the kind of bed Gummy sleeps in. I can just picture it, can't you? No. I sense he's more of a mattress on the floor type. There's something different about this spot here. This part of the floor is weirdly clean. Did somebody wipe it down or something? Yeah. The newspaper? Why would somebody only want to do the part right next to the bed, though? Torn newspaper. Newspaper from the day before the incident. A few of its pages have been torn out. White floors. There's something in this cell that could have been used to wipe the floor. Why did he wipe the floor there? The part of this floor has been wiped clean. Maybe he spilled some grape juice. Who knows? But we can certainly imagine what he used to do the wiping. The torn out pages of the newspaper. Why wouldn't he just ask a guard for a cloth or something, though? Perhaps he didn't want anyone to see what he was wiping up. There are signs the floor in the victim's detention center holding cell is wiped clean. I think we're about exhausted this cell. We've made significant progress by establishing a connection between Mr. Canis and the victim. This is bad, sir. Is that the guard? The security camera footage, sir. I watched it and... What is it? Can you show it to us? Yes, sir. I have a small playback monitor with me. Then what are you waiting for? Let's see it. What the hell? Was that black thing? Is that a dog, right? Until now, our assumption was that the crime had taken place inside the prison proper. But it seems the assumption may have been wrong. Knight had actually been attacked in this location. Here,
Take that!
Right here in the detention center. And the perpetrator was indeed Mr. Canis' dog. It's just the evidence we need. Footage of the detention center holding cells, showing the victim being attacked by a dark form. And this is where Mr. Knight actually was murdered. Then one of the pieces of evidence we found here in this cell takes on a whole new meaning. If Knight's cell was the crime scene, which piece of evidence takes on a whole new significant meaning? The newspaper clipping, probably. The white floor.
Take that!
The floor of Knight's cell was wiped clean, presumably to remove something. Could that something have been his blood? But who wiped it, though? If the dog definitely wouldn't have wiped it, so who wiped it? Thank you, officer. Would you mind doing me one more favor? Name it, sir. There's a detective by the name of Gumshoe somewhere in this facility. I need you to give him a message. Tell him to have this cell tested for traces of blood and to report the results to Edgeworth. You got it, sir. There are signs that the floor of the victim's cell was wiped clean. I've ordered a test to see if it was blood. Now we can really go after that Canis guy, right, Mr. Edgeworth? No, not yet. We still don't know how Knight and the dog moved between his cell and the prison proper. Right, so that's what we need to figure out next. What's the play, coach? Where are we off to? I suspect one of the guards might know something. We should ask those posted nearby and see what they have to tell us. March 28, 2:15 p.m. Detention center. Corridor. Okay, time to get asking. Is that Lang? It's Agent Lang. Thanks for the tour. Later. Well, Mr. Prosecutor and his little friend. I didn't expect to run into you here. It must be my lucky day. This is Agent Long Lang of Interpol. He was in charge of a case I worked on 2 weeks back. I thought he had gone home to Zengfa after that, but here he is. You had some business to take care of, I take it, Agent Lang. You could say that. Nothing that needs to concern you, though. Heh. First a black hound, now a wolf, all in black. Hey, wait. Why are you all alone today? That's true. He's usually accompanied by an army of police officers. I hear you were at it again a couple days back, sticking your nose into things. A couple days back? He means the incident with the president of Zengfa. Actually, I had thought you might be there as well, heading up the security detail. Our president doesn't have much faith in the efficiency of his own country's police force. Maybe now he'll think twice before using contractors again. Amateurs. Agent Lang doesn't have much faith in prosecutors, of course, to do their job right. Which is why he's so meticulous about investigating with his hand-picked cream of the crop officers. Indeed, no doubt things would have turned out differently had you and your men been in charge. My men, huh? Yeah, those guys aren't around anymore. What? They're not. It's funny, isn't it? I'm a real lone wolf now. What are you saying, Agent Lang? What on earth happened? I told you, it doesn't concern you. See you around, Mr. Prosecutor. Wow, he seemed not okay. Yes, and I would very much like to know why, but there's nothing we can do about it right now. We'll worry about Agent Lang later. We have an investigation to conduct. Alright, let's start by talking to these guards. I was wondering, have you seen an enormous black dog wandering around here recently? That thing! No way! If I had, well, let's just say I'd be a lot more nervous about that standing guard here. So, do you and this dog have some kind of history or something? Now, not now. Now, okay. You should have known when to let sleeping dogs lie. By the sound of it, Canis the dog hasn't been spotted on this side of this heavy security doors. Oh man, I'm in so much trouble. What's the matter? You seem, perturbed. Oh, well, you see, one of my uniforms is missing. I could have sworn it was right here in my locker. Did it grow a pair of legs and run off somewhere? Where in the world did that idea spring up? A uniform's missing. Anyway, I hope you track it down soon. I'll be rooting for you. Thanks, I appreciate it. Stolen from a guard's locker in the detention center corridor on March 26th. Hey. Are those my faithful assistants I see before me? Fender, and where exactly have you been? Where have I been? I've been looking for you two. Been searching high and low. Wandering lonely through the prison's halls. It was terrible, I tell you. But the prison's over there on the other side of the facility, boss. So listen, I just got the lowdown on some seriously dynamite material. You want to hear it, right? Right? Seamless. I was chatting with a few of the guards, and they told me something interessant. Turns out the Bronxster had himself a little incident 2 days ago, pre-mortem if you catch my drift. An incident? Simeon told you, he came to visit his pal, right? Well, it happened right after they'd wrapped up, when Bronco was being escorted back to his cell. It was just one of the guards. He was handcuffed. It was just one guard, and he was handcuffed, obviously. They made it back, and the guard was taking off his cuffs when the Bronxster clobbered him, knocked the poor guy out cold. Sounds like it might have been the prelude to a jailbreak. Because when the other guards showed up, they couldn't find their comrade's keys. Were there any rumblings about Knight attempting an escape? That's the bit that fries the old noggin. There was none. He just sat in his cell, then turned up dead. And what's more, he swore right till the end that he never stole the keys. They turned his cell inside out too, but no dice. The guard who was struck, what did he have to say? Nothing. Poor guy was still out when they took him to the hospital. Word is, he's still there. So there's nobody around to tell us what really happened. A cover-up definitely happened. Mr. Knight's cell key. A guard was attacked and his keys, including the one to Knight's cell, were stolen. They have yet to be recovered. What the? It's you losers. That's all we need. Is it Eustace? Oh, it is. Why are you still hanging around here like a bad smell? Hey there, little buddy. Listen, Miles here is working with me now as an associate. Nonsense. You're all just here to cause trouble and turn my investigation into a fart. Eustace means farce, of course. A simple slip of the tongue. And you guys told me that Eustace's name, Eustace Winner, it's supposed to mean useless winner. Seemed like a reasonable apt choice of words to me. Judge Gavel, great to see you again. I know who you are. You are a Simeon Saint's attorney. Guilty as charged. Now that we've broken the ice, how about a friendly? Or not. I'm totally cool either way. Now, did I hear you correctly that Mr. Edgeworth has joined the defense team? Yup, and me too. We're officially employees of Edgeworth & Co. But a prosecutor is a public servant. You would draw your sword on the goddess to work for personal gain? It's not a problem if I'm not getting paid, though, correct? Exactly. What he said. Miles here just a volunteer. We're all about the pro bono stuff over at Edgeworth & Co. How wonderful. So you all work without reward. The goddess would surely approve. Yeah. I'm a regular philanthropist. Judge Gavel, I was hoping to ask about the grounds for Simeon Saint's arrest. That information is on a need. Is that a challenge I hear? No, I was just asking Judge Gavel. I'm always ready for a little verbal combat, to show you what it takes to be a real winner. How is that a verbal combat if you won't let me speak? Still, this could prove useful. Fine, we'll do as you suggest. Now, if you could begin by telling us why Mr. Saint was arrested. There will be no need for that. Eustace, we should... Ha. Not now, Gavel. Watch and wonder. As I put this pathetic prosecutor in his place, he's going to run things around me. I think you meant to say that you would be the one running things around me. And I will. So badly that your ears will be ringing. Prepare to be humbled, Edgeworth. Reasons for arrest. You want to know why I arrested that man? It's simple. I found evidence of him all over that thing. How's that for some, winningly incontrovertible, conclusive proof? And who saw the truth first? Why me, of course. Winner by name, winner by nature. Where do I even begin? Look at you, utterly lost for words in the face of such mastery. I'll take your silence as yet another win. Honestly, does he even shut up? You said that you were the one who arrested Mr. Saint. But do you even have the authority to do so, Mr. Winner? Well, obviously, it was the police who actually arrested him. But I told them to do it, so I think I can claim the credit, don't you? Of course, that's what he meant. Oh. This is clearly going to take a while. A shame, really. Given that I'm much more interested in what Judge Gavel is silently thinking over there. Reasons for the arrest, okay. You want to know why I arrested that man?
Hold it!
I'm just checking, but you do, know it was you, arrested, correct? Eh? Is that some kind of joke? Of course I know who I arrested. It was Simeon Saint. Good to know he remembers that much, at least. I had rock-solid grounds for arresting Simeon Saint. First-rate reasons.
Hold it!
Rock-solid, you say? I'm impressed. Hold on. I know what you're doing here. You're trying to butter me up. Well, it might work on the chumps you meet in court, but it won't work on me. The evidence we found is certainly rather damning for Mr. Saint. Perhaps you should tell Mr. Edgeworth about it, Eustace. Damning is right, and it was on the strength of that evidence that I decided to arrest him. It's simple. Simple. I found evidence. Evidence of him all over that thing.
Hold it!
Evidence of him was all over that thing? Could you be a little bit more specific, Mr. Winter? Do I really have to spell it out for you, Edgeworth? I hope even you could put 2 and 2 together. Stop messing around. The onus is on you to provide a comprehensible testimony. Come now, Eustace. I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth and his friends will be very interested to learn how you cracked the case. They certainly look keen to hear about it. Fine, if you insist. I'll fill you in the gaps. Brace yourselves, because this is going to blow your tiny little minds. I bet you didn't even know what the victim had wait for a chess set with him. And that chess set was covered in fingerprints of a certain Mr. Simeon Saint. That doesn't prove anything, he just brought him that. Praise to be the goddess of justice for the insight she offers, and congratulations once again, Eustace. You would not object to Eustace amending his testimony, I trust, Mr. Edgeworth? No, by all means, please do. Mr. Saint's fingerprints were right there, all over the victim's chess set.
Hold it!
But you weren't the one who actually found his prints, were you? Of course not. I'm a prosecutor. I leave the dirty work to forensics. The fingerprints are certainly a problem, but then the chess set was... I should take another look at the evidence. It belonged to Knight and was brought to him at request by Saint.
Objection!
So the fingerprints on the chess set are the ace up your sleeve. The what up my sleeve? Oh, yes, the chess set up the ace sleeve. That's right, Edgeworth. I've got a winning hand, as usual. Only your winning hand is a busted flush. For you see, it was Simeon Saint who brought that chess set to the victim in the first place. Therefore, it's only natural that his fingerprints are all over it. Yeah? That took a while to sink in. In conclusion, those fingerprints aren't proof of anything, and Mr. Saint's arrest was premature. Premature? The incident took place here within the walls of this facility. And being neither a guard nor a prisoner, it makes very little sense to suspect Mr. Saint. Oh. Now what? I think you might be the premature one here, Edgeworth. And to think you were the one accusing me of being hasty. Did he only just work out what that word means? Sure, I identified Mr. Saint as a suspect faster than pretty much anybody else. And I won the race when it came to picking out the crucial evidence, too. I'm quick on the draw, you see. But hasty? Not at all. You're right that Mr. Saint isn't a guard or a prisoner here, but he was.
Overruled.
Eustace. Judge Gavel. But out, Gavel. I have him right where I want him. Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may. While the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating, don't we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor? Something more impressive? If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Edgeworth. Eustace made an ingenious deduction concerning the murder weapon. Perhaps you would like to hear it. Yes, of course. That's well remembered, Gavel. Listen to this, Edgeworth, and prepare to be amazed.
Objection!
Will this ingenious deduction explain why Mr. Saint was arrested? Let's just say you won't be disappointed. Judge Gavel deliberately diverted the conversation away from my line of questioning. What exactly is she up to? The whereabouts of the murder weapon. Fact 1, the murder weapon was some sort of metal blade. Fact 2, potentially deadly blades are strictly controlled within the prison walls, as we both know. From these two facts, I concluded the weapon in question must have come from outside. It must have been hidden inside the chess set. That's what I think anyway. And since the only prints we found on the chess set belonged to the victim and the suspect, I'd say it's blindingly obvious who brought the weapon in and used it, wouldn't you? If nothing else, his testimony this time is a little more comprehensible than the last. Another winning deduction brought to you by winner Eustace, prosecutor extraordinaire. More like winner, useless prosecutor extraordinaire, if you ask me. Yep, that's why his name is Eustace Winner. It's useless winner. But how could anyone even hide a weapon inside that chess set? Good question. Why don't you take a look for yourselves? Inside the chessboard. I suppose there's only one way to find out. There's nothing in here but chess pieces. That laugh is really something. He seems pretty convinced that the weapon was hidden in here somewhere. I better take a closer look. What? The stiff, lining at the top, almost like a flap door. Whoa, there's plenty of room in there. Indeed. More than enough to hide something like a small knife. Ingenious, no? The killer stuck the weapon in by. Ha. Ha? What do you mean, ha? Let me finish, will you? I fear you've not been listening, Mr. Winter. Or perhaps you've simply forgotten. The detention center is outfitted with security gate. Huh? I mean, yeah, and? The security gate also acts as a metal detector, Eustace. We must pass through another one on the way into the prison itself, remember? Aha! Yes! Yes, that's right. Of course, I remember. He definitely didn't. It would have been impossible to smuggle a metal blade through such a gate and into the facility. Which would seem to blow a rather large hole in your reasoning, Mr. Winter. That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory search. Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through the metal detector? It should have been, at last. It seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late. A folding chessboard with the pieces stored around. It belonged to Knight and has a secret compartment. Deployed at the entrance to both the detention center and the prison proper, capable of detecting items made of metal. Very good. Thank you, Gavel. It was my pleasure. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination. It's like she's holding a trial. Well, no matter. Let's see how well this ingenious deduction of Mr. Winter's holds up, shall we? The whereabouts of the murder weapon. Fact 1. The murder weapon was some sort of metal blade.
Hold it!
How do you know it's metal? Metal blade, you say? And how do you have any evidence to support this? Huh. You mean you didn't even look at the victim's injuries? Why am I not surprised, you third rate? The fatal blow is a stab wound to the neck. And it was delivered by a knife-like blade. That much is absolutely beyond doubt. It appears that they're not yet aware of a certain other piece of information. Yeah. Lots for words, are we? No, just keep going. My brilliant deductions don't end there, you know. Fact 2, potentially deadly blades are strictly controlled within the prison walls, we both know.
Hold it!
The fact that such objects are strictly controlled doesn't mean that they're actually forbidden. Well, no, I mean, some of the prisoners use scissors to cut out the animal's hair, and that avenue of inquiry was consistently pursued, as you no doubt recall, Eustace. Yes, only one bladed object has been signed out by a single prisoner at the time of the incident. The item was tested for traces of blood, but none were found. I suppose he's referencing to the scissors Mr. Sahwit was using. So there's no way the blade in question came from inside the prison. From these two facts, it concluded the weapon in question must have come from outside.
Hold it!
Outside? What does that mean exactly? Haha, the opposite of inside, you numbskull. Was that an attempt at clarification or a put-down? Because it clearly accomplished neither. What Eustace means to say is that it must have been brought in from outside the prison by Mr. Saint. Honestly, Edgeworth, if you hadn't figured that out by now, then you're an even bigger loser than I thought. The feeling is mutual, believe me. Mr. Saint clearly brought the murder weapon into the prison. The question is, how? It must have been hidden inside the chess set. That's what I think, anyway.
Hold it!
But no murder weapon was found at the crime scene. And there's nothing inside the chessboard either. I'm curious, Mr. Winter. You also have thoughts about where this weapon might be? Well, the perpetrator must have hidden it somewhere in the prison. Is there a problem with his claim? There is a problem. They hid it somewhere inside the prison. That seems unlikely. In fact, I can prove that that's not the case. What evidence suggests that the murder weapon isn't hiding somewhere in the prison? Winter, Gavel, and the warden searched the prison for the murder weapon, but couldn't find anything. Here, prison search.
Take that!
I'm starting to worry about your memory, Mr. Winter. Didn't you and the good judge search the prison with Warden Lagarde? And didn't you fail to find a likely murder weapon? Well, yes, but I guess we just missed it, that's all. Wow, way to undermine yourself. You're saying your search wasn't entirely thorough. You, the so-called winning rookie. Stop making fun of me! What was that, Eustace? Calm yourself. Breathe deeply. Do not allow your opponent to get under your skin. You're right. I'm a winner. Why should I let a third-rate loser like Edgeworthless? Here, get under my skin. I'll thank you to leave my name out of this. Well, I'm K. Faraday, and I'm A-okay. Not you two, please. Look, it's simple. Since my first-rate investigation didn't turn up any weapon, it means there wasn't one to find. Which leaves only one possibility. The murderer took the weapon with him when he left the prison. That's why we couldn't find it when we looked. Obviously.
Objection!
But why are you proposing it's impossible? But here's the thing: if he left if that is the case, if we are to believe that, if he left a chest set with the body and he took the knife with him, then when he goes through the metal detector, he would have been scanned. If they didn't check the chest set because the metal knife was in the chest set, when he went through the metal detector, it would have been checked. And this proves why the culprit couldn't possibly have taken the weapon out of the prison with them. Yeah, exactly. I called it. The security gates deployed at the entrances to both the detention center and the prison proper, capable of detecting items made of metal. This.
Take that!
More memory trouble, Mr. Winner. Now you're forgetting things you yourself said. Are you making fun of me? Again? Oh, so you remember what I said. Well, perhaps you might have been better served by remembering this. What's that? Wait, does he seriously not remember? It would certainly seem that way. There's a security gate at each of the entrances to the detention center and the prison proper. Coming from the prison, anyone leaving the facility would have had to have passed through both of them. 2 gates, both fitted with metal detectors. Oh wait, now I remember. Looks like he got his memory back. So as you can see, there's no way anyone could have taken a weapon out through both gates. And therefore, there is no way the murder weapon could have left the building. In which case, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you would care to tell us where you think the murder weapon might be. It is still here on the premises. That's the only plausible conclusion to be drawn. We searched the prison from top to bottom and couldn't find anything. Because you were never going to find anything to begin with. Not when you were laboring under the misconception that it's a blade you were looking for. Yeah, we know the truth about what happened to Mr. Knight. We've seen it with our own eyes. That is quite a claim. I assume you have the evidence to support it. What is the weapon that was used to commit the crime? Take a look at this, Judge Gabel, and the weapon used in the case will become clear. Security camera footage.
Take that!
This is footage taken from a security camera trained on Knight's holding cell. Now watch it for yourself and see. What? But how? This footage captures the moment the victim was attacked by a black dog. More than sufficient proof how he really died, wouldn't you say? Yes, it is certainly significant. So now we know that Knight was in fact killed in his cell by a vicious dog. A dog that moved the victim's body to the prison workshop post-mortem. We know this thanks to an eyewitness who saw the dog in the workshop when the body was discovered. Of course, I think we can all agree that there is no way the dog could have planned such a crime itself. Indeed, I fear it may be his handiwork after all. That's quite enough of that, Mr. Edgeworth. Judge Cavell, you are correct that this footage is an important piece of evidence. But it also raises an important new question. A question I suspect you also have been asking yourself. She's right, there's only one major problem with my version of the events, how the dog moved the body. The black dog, the one that belongs to one of the inmates. How did it move between the holding cells and the prison proper at will? Yeah. Oh! How do we answer that one, Mr. Edgeworth? The truth is, I don't know yet. Of course not. Can it, Wonder Boy? You didn't even notice there was a problem. Until the defense provides an adequate explanation, the court cannot accept your line of logic. That is all. This court is adjourned. But, wait, there's still so much more to explore. Court is no longer in session, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would be so kind as to leave the courtroom. Court was never in session in the first place. Once again, this court is a...
Objection!
We may not have all the answers yet, but you haven't explained anything either regarding Mr. Saint. What do you mean? Just as we don't know how the dog made it to one of the detention center's holding cells, you can't know how Mr. Saint could have made it inside a detention center, let alone the prison either. He would have been allowed as far as the visitor's room to see his friend, but no further. So it's hard for me to conceive how he could have committed a crime in a place he had no access to. That's good. Judge Gavel, I believe it's your turn to provide some proof. Proof that Simeon Saint was able to enter the prison. Haha. You wish for the court to provide you with proof. Highly irregular. Very well. What? They actually have something. Now it seems like a good time as any. And I suppose you have been kind enough to share your own theories on the case. What's she building up to here? Mr. Edgeworth, I suspect you don't know what Mr. Saint does for a living, so allow me to fill you in. He is a circus performer. What? Yes, perhaps you've heard of the very big circus. Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day after all. Important in what way exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh, heavens, no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday was the circus came to visit. You see it now, I assume? As I'm sure you are aware, a show was held yesterday for the prisoners' entertainment. A show featuring animals and performers, performed by members of the very big circus. So does that mean Mr. Saint? Yes, Mr. Saint was allowed inside the prison as part of that show. A fact that has been confirmed beyond reasonable doubt. No! She held on to that fact until the last possible moment. She let me run with my own theory, and only afterwards did she use it to reveal the truth. Wait. Excuse me. But out, Gavel, I have him right where I want him. Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may. While the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating, don't we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor? That must be why she steered him onto a different topic back then, too. Hey, I got you good, didn't I, you third-rate prosecutor? This has nothing to do with you. Gentlemen, this court is well and truly adjourned. If I may offer a word of advice, Mr. Edgeworth. Your conduct as a prosecutor is already in question. You would do well to remember that you were removed from this case for that precise reason. What are you trying to say? That the committee reserves the right to confiscate your badge at any time. Should you wish to retain it, you would do well to avoid crossing paths with us again. Is that a threat? The goddess of justice is compassionate, Mr. Edgeworth, but she is not endlessly forgiving. Oh, and one last thing. You are no defense attorney. Abandon this foolish pretense. Thank you for your concern. But I do not abandon anything. When I start, I finish. Well, do try to remember that the two jobs are not one and the same. And that a defense attorney is expected to develop something of a bond with their client. Next time, finding out your client's real occupation might be a good place to start. Urgh. Now, I really must be going. May the goddess of justice watch over you all. So Simeon lied to us. Not just you two, guy took me for a ride too. What's his deal? Whoa, you're not having second thoughts about this all are you, Milesy boy? Sure, Judge Gavel is a tough cookie, but that doesn't mean you can just give up the ghost. The defense never rests, as a wise man once said, and that goes for associates too. Don't worry, Fender. I have no intention of resting. Nevertheless, our assumption that Mr. Saint couldn't have entered the prison has been proven false, which means we'll need to restart our investigation from square one, I'm afraid. Oh, and I guess it ends here. Okay, so this case is getting kind of good. That was a pretty long part, though, about 2 hours. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this part. If you did, do drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.